This video is going to go through an overview of Odoo's marketing automation and email marketing applications. This is the list we're going to go through, so we want to be able to pull emails and addresses automatically from leads and opportunities. So in Odoo, there's leads and then there's opportunities. That's the distinction here. So lead pools would be leads, deal pools would be opportunities. Stage of lead is important, and that fits well within Odoo because you can filter by any record within Odoo during the creation of your marketing campaign. So it's very simple to create those and to have a dynamic marketing automation. So let's jump in. So I can create my campaign here. I can specify that I want to give a welcome letter, and I'm going to filter, but I can actually filter by any record within Odoo. The contact would be a customer, a previous customer. If we want to reach out to an opportunity, however, we could then specify what stage they're in. So if I wanted to see stage is equal to new, I could do that and see that there. So I'm going to save that, but first I'm going to add an additional activity. And this is going to be send email. And so I can specify my email template. I can specify a server action. So say they reply to that email and we would like them to be created as, instead of an opportunity, or excuse me, instead of a lead, be then created into an opportunity because we've nurtured the lead to a point where it's ready to be qualified. That's when we would want it to become an opportunity. So I can specify a template. I'm just going to say welcome, create and edit. I can edit my body of the template. This is the templates here, but then I can also go in and actually edit the template using my different blocks here, change the style of it, color scheme, all that kind of stuff. I can expand it as well to make it easier. So very simple to do that. I can add in my content here very simply by dragging and dropping. If I want to give for example, promotional code, I could add a promotional code. I could add a call to action, which would be contact us, or then thereby generating an opportunity. So there's a lot you can do. You can also then select the style. So you can change the color scheme as well. You can then create the style, update colors, all that kind of stuff, images, widths, things like that. So very simple to edit, update. You can build your own templates, and then you're good to go. Now that we got the email template created, we can see that below here in our templates tab here. We can see the statistics related to them as well. We could also go into the list view and see information related to those, the different measures we want to see. We can also then group by, say, for example, status. Once you get more information in here, you'll get some statistics. So you could see here status sent. If we have some bounces and some not sent templates, we can see those there. The other thing we can then go in and do is create tests. So by creating a test, it'll allow you to select a template lead or opportunity, which will allow you to make sure everything looks good before you fire it off to your potential customers. The other thing you can do is see any clicks. So any links that you have that you would like to track. So maybe a link to a specific product page on your website or anything like that. You can track those links and the clicks to those links here. We then can see any participants as well, anybody who's responded to the campaign, and we can see those statistics here. So if we run our test, we'll then be able to see what it looks like from my end. So I just sent it over a few minutes ago. We can see that here. We can see the information I created in there, and it went directly to my email. So that's the test. That way you can check on your templates to make sure they look good. From here, I could start the workflow once I check everything is good. I could then also do an additional item. So below we can see the amount sent, percentage clicked, percentage replied, percentage bounced, number of success and rejected. We can then see any domain. So this email is just based off of our main filter for the newsletter, but you can actually filter each email you want to send in the workflow to specific opportunities within that workflow. So for example, if you wanted to do new with no Gmails in the email domain, then you could do that as well and filter those emails specifically on a deeper level than just what the entire campaign is filtered on or being marketed to. So you can get very granular with that. And then also here, we can add in additional actions. So this action would be an example of if this was a lead rather than an opportunity, you could have it create a lead, or create an opportunity if the email is open, for example. So you can do all those different types of things. And that's why Odoo is important, is because it doesn't just connect your sales and your accounting, it connects your marketing into your CRM. So you have that full process flow. And within that process flow, you have much more ability to manipulate and extract information, because when the CRM opportunity starts in the CRM, right? So we're in marketing automation. We'll be able to see that where that lead came from in the CRM, as well as the marketing emails directly in the CRM. And then from there, if we wanted to track, say, for example, the campaign to the sales order, you could do that as well. So the ability to move your information throughout the system and then pull data based on what information you're trying to see, it's extremely powerful. So we got that taken care of. We got our additional action here. All we have to do is specify here child activity, what we want it to actually accomplish. And then that's where you can specify whether it's after an email open, not open, replied, not replied, clicked, what have you, all that kind of stuff. We can then dive deeper into our CRM. So our CRM has columns opportunity here. We see this is where the welcome email showed up. And so it makes it easier for your salespeople to sell, because if they know what the marketing material has been, they can then tailor their own sales pitch based on what the person has been seeing. So if it's for a specific discount or for a specific model, they can then tailor the conversation around that from the get-go, rather than marketing firing and then the salesperson trying to also fire their own information at the customer. So it just allows everyone to be on the same page. From there, when we go to our marketing campaign medium source, we can see where they were created from. So this one was created manually, but I sent it a marketing opportunity. So that's different than whether it came from a marketing opportunity. So if we had, for example, a lead that came in as a lead rather than an opportunity, so we could turn that on in settings, but that way you can have your list of leads, and then from there you can have the marketing opportunities tailored to them. From there, if a lead is generated, say for example off your website, something like that, we can do that then. So I'm going to back out of my current opportunity. I went into this additional opportunity I created. So this opportunity here has the information filled out from our campaign when they went through our website. That way you can see the information that was generated or where that information came from. So for the opportunity, we saw that this was initially through our welcome letter campaign, and then also our website. So the medium that they actually reached out to us was from the website. So from here, we can also see any quotations, things like that. I won't get too much into the CRM aspect, but if we wanted to then report on our dashboard and see the opportunities, say group by medium, something like that, we could definitely do that. So if we wanted to group by medium, we could group by my website. If we wanted to, let's do a bar graph. See, we could see this here. If you have multiple websites, so for example, here we have my website and then website, and then we also have undefined, which would be created by the salesperson. So we have those three different sources of information there. We could then also filter out by campaign or group by campaign. So we could see here which newsletter they came from. So two are not from a newsletter and one is from the welcome letter. We can see that information here. And then we can see down here in that pie chart too, the statistics of where these leads were coming from. So you have the ability to see that as well. Then if we go in and go to our CRM and we create for example, a quote, add in a product. I see here all this information and I can see that tracking down here. So it came from the welcome letter from my website. I can see that information down there. So then if I go to create the invoice, I can then also in the other info, pull that information if I wanted to see it on the invoice. Most customers don't put it on the invoice view just because it's being tracked. The sale is already being tracked here. But you can easily pull that information if you would like to. So with, for example, a related field with Studio, I could pull that information here. Studio, I can easily pull that information here. I could go into the campaign and I could look for the name. Just name, I believe. Confirm. And with Studio, I automatically pulled that field onto the, so now I can see the marketing campaign on the invoice here. So now we have that here. The campaign is our welcome letter. I can see that on our invoice. Within 2 seconds, I was able to customize this to show my campaign on the invoice. So very flexible, very scalable. So as you grow, there's different information that you would like to track in other areas because there's going to be more eyes that need to see different things. And you can easily do that with throwing a related field onto a record. So very simple to customize. That took me about 2 seconds. You don't need any programming experience, things like that. So it's very easy and user-friendly. So back to our agenda, we went through email addresses from lead pools. We went through tracking lead activity across platform. Now we're going to go into we also talked about the revenue attribution, so we can see where the revenue came from. We can also see that in a more granular level as well. So if we wanted to see our, for example, sales, these are both in sales. So we're going to go to our dashboard. We could then group by an additional custom group. So if we wanted to see medium or campaign, we could group by campaign. So right here, we see our welcome letter was responsible for $15 of revenue. We can see that on a list view as well. Or excuse me, 15. We can see we have $15 associated with our welcome letter. When we go into a bar chart, we're on a much larger scale compared to sales made not through that welcome letter. So we can see that's information there. We could also then filter it by customer and say how many customers purchased through our welcome letter versus not through our welcome letter. So you can see all that information directly within your sales app without having to do any customizations or any additional developments. It's all out of the box. So back to our little agenda, we can then go into the social media aspect. So this is where you can link your social medias. You can link Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. From there, you can then create a post. So I have a draft post being created. We can see here the post, what it will look like, a draft, and then when we want to send it. So we can then easily schedule it for a later date. We can specify when it is, what campaign it's associated with. And I could say I want it to send today at right now, 10:18. So you can do that very simply, specify whether it's local time or what time zone you want it to go, and filter by any domains you would need to. So very simple to do that. We could then go into our campaigns. I listed the newsletter for my social media post here. We can then see the engagement, revenues, quotations, opportunities, posts, and clicks related to this post here. So you can send the post from here, a push notification to your website. So you have the ability to track all that information. And then if I wanted to click in and see, for example, the opportunities generated, I could do that here. So it links it directly to your CRM. I can click directly into my sales and see the journal entries generated from that as well. And then I can also go in and see the posts and click information as well as engagement. So if I wanted to click into the engagement, I could do that here. I could then also see all the other stuff as well. Thanks for watching.